Hi, Jessica. Thank
Hi.
you so much for coming. It was a fantastic talk. My question regards the labels. As an actress entering into the entrepreneurship circle, I'm sure you had this label of, actress, pretty face, perhaps not a savvy businesswoman. And in the same way, aspiring student entrepreneurs have that label as a student. We aren't experienced or not capable. How did you get over your label as an actress and not a businesswoman?
Well, it's funny when you're an entrepreneur going into certainly doing a business that's online in any way. What's cool about it is it's an even playing field, and it either works or it doesn't. And VCs actually love great ideas coming from students. Most great ideas come from young people and students. When I walk in the room on my own, without Brian Lee at my side, they were like, who are you and why are you here? Silicon Valley doesn't have the same type of, I don't know, I'm not going to say, I don't know if actors get respect even. It's like, they certainly don't think that you are smarter or more capable if you're an actor. If anything, they have preconceived ideas of who you are. And there were a lot of barriers. And I feel like being a young student and coming from USC, you're at a greater advantage than I was. I had a lot of people look at me sideways when I wanted to start this company, and I had to, including my own business partner, Brian Lee, who turned me down, and I went back again 18 months later and pitched him the idea again, and I had to refine it. So I think you're actually at an advantage. I think you have to not take criticism personally. I think you have to look at it as being constructive, and I think you have to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll go to this. I'm not sure that there is. No, okay, so we'll just go back over here.
Hi, my name is Elliot. I'm not going to be a father tomorrow, so something to consider. Obviously, you've been able to educate consumers about the toxic chemicals that are embedded in our daily products.
Lobbied for reform on the Toxic Chemical Substance Act, which hasn't been, it went in 1976, and basically nothing's been changed since. And so I went and lobbied for reform on that bill before I started the company, and frustrated with the process and government and the lack of oversight on chemical safety. It really actually put a fire under me to launch the company and to be even more determined. At the end of the day, it's very difficult to change things at that level. And so we're relying on people voting with their pocketbook and with their wallet and making healthier and better choices. And if we take enough of the marketplace, those big players and those chemical companies are going to have to change their ways.
Thank you.
That people want to invest in. It's funny, the first question about, I'm a student, I don't have, it was true that, me walking in on my own, they were not taking me seriously. They were almost giggling at me even trying to start a company. But why they took me seriously, even with the same idea, why they took me seriously was because of my team. They invested at the end of the day in my team. And so I think if you can put together a team that can execute on your idea, that's going to be the strongest thing you can do when you're going to raise money.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Hi, Jessica. Thanks for coming out tonight. There's a lot of learning as you go in being an entrepreneur, and I'm sure that the learning curve was very steep as you...
Can't be too married to your ideas. You can't think you're the most genius person on the planet. You have to be humble. You have to have humility. You have to have empathy. And you have to really understand your marketplace through and through. And I recommend, this is something I did and how I got my 55-page deck down to 10, is I pitched this idea to smart people that had different types of businesses, and they poked holes at it. And like I said, instead of taking it personally, it wasn't until they were like, oh yeah, that's a great idea, and they totally got it, it wasn't ready. And so I think having people, smart people that you respect, poke holes at the business idea, understanding your marketplace very well. You never also want to be in a room and not answer more than 3 of the questions that they have right on the spot. You got to know all the answers to all the questions. And I think that's another thing. If you're sitting in a room with a VC and they're like, how are you going to get this thing shipped from here to there? And you don't know how the hell you're going to do it, you're in trouble. How are you going to, make sure that, your products don't spoil if, say, you're making something, or that, if you're making a fashion item, the size is going to be right every time. You got to have the answer. And what are you going to do if, your website gets hacked and, that happens, and you have to have, the answers. So I think let people poke holes, be malleable, take the criticism as, constructive criticism, and get your elevator pitch down, and just keep going at it. I mean, you have to have naysayers. That's the only way you really know you have a great idea. If it's easy, I'd be weary.
Thank you.
So we have time for just a few more.
Hi, Jessica. My name is Jillian. I would also like to thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
All of your advice is so insightful. My sister is in.
Sorry. And what is your company? Tell me what it is.
It's still in the very. It's the Three Sisters company.
Okay, so you guys sell macaroons online? Online?
No, one of my sisters makes them.
Oh, so you make your own product and then you distribute it, and you deliver all over the country, or?
We're delivering locally for now.
Okay.
So I was wondering
Cool.
and right now it's still.
Are you
very
guys driving
small.
around and delivering them yourselves?
What?
Are you guys driving and delivering?
You're interested in the product. Do you have any tips on how to get it beyond family, friends?
Who do you think is who's your consumer?
It's kind of
Weddings, bridal showers.
Yeah, and
So
then
I would get to know every party planner.
thank you.
I would go out to party planners and I would take them to tea. I would give them your macaroons, write a sweet little note, be relentless. Don't call them every day, but a once a week reminder with a little note and a couple little macaroons so that you stay top of mind. And eventually it'll catch on. I think that might be good.
Awesome. Thank you so
Okay, so this one I think might be the last one.
Hi, Jessica. My name is Sammy. Thank you so much again for being here. It's a pleasure to get to have you here. My question is, what is your favorite part about your job, and what keeps you excited to go into work every day?
Oh, my favorite part about my job is getting customer feedback. When I even post something on Instagram, say, this is an example of me, of the long hours paying off. So I posted something on Instagram. It was just me at the office, and someone wrote on I read the comments, and someone wrote on there, thank you so much for creating The Honest Company. I have a baby, and we use your diapers and wipes and shampoo, but I also have a 5-year-old. And my 5-year-old has really, really bad eczema. She's had it her whole life. She has scars from scratching herself when she was a toddler. She's too embarrassed to wear short sleeves, so even in the summer she wears long sleeves and long pants. But ever since we started using your products, she's been able to wear shorts and short sleeves and live like a normal 5-year-old. And to me, I'm like, that's why I do this. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hi,
Hi, Jessica. Thank you for
Hi.
being here. My name is Ada, and I just wanted to obviously thank you and congratulate you on all. So my main question is, as a business administrator,
Don't take notes in meetings. Don't be the note taker. Make the boys take the notes. If there's a crowded room, make sure you get your seat at the table. Don't sit in the outer corners of the room in a chair. Speak up every time. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay,
Saying.
can't wait to see it. So let's do these two really quick.
Hi, Jessica. I'm
And thank
Danielle.
you. Thank you so much.
And so I'm studying chemical engineering here, and so I'm just a little bit, maybe.
We're looking for really smart scientists and chemists right now. So we work with different chemists based off of their expertise and what they can develop and where they develop. And we basically have the list of no-nos. So we have over 1,200 ingredients we don't use no matter what. And then when there is an ingredient that is kind of on the cusp, we make sure that it's a percentage that isn't toxic. So that's, and we source all of our raw materials in an ethical way. And we don't take synthetic versions of anything. So we spend a lot of money in our raw materials, in our ingredients, and in that process. And it's a pretty long process to get anything developed. And we have to vet manufacturing partners and make sure that they're creating products up to our standards. But it is very complicated right now in developing beauty and especially color cosmetics. It's no easy feat. It's been very frustrating, but we got to a point, because I am not going to create a line that's like putting different layers of dirt on your face. And I also don't want you to feel like it's like melted off of you after 1 hour. It needs to work, and it needs to be luxurious, and it needs to be beautiful, and it needs to have pigments in it. And a lot of companies use toxic chemicals to get that. And so it's been quite the process to try and get the results and the efficacy from the products. But yeah, it's challenging, and we are taking resumes.
And where would
Thank
they
you.
find
I'll
us?
check back when I graduate.
Yes, you can come intern.
Just real quick, so
We actually we're hiring from January to June 90 people. Yeah, I mean, we have over 350 employees now, and it's really in every part of our company. So, from technologists to chemists to people in marketing, really across the board. So, if anybody is interested, what's the email, Shannon? honest.com/careers. Yes, that's it. And I still interview people, because still do that. I enjoy that. We do the airport test. That's how we hire. If we can imagine ourselves getting stuck in an airport with you for 5 hours, and we can have a beer and have a chat, and we still like you, that's really like one of the biggest ways that we hire people, believe it or not. Sorry. I digress.
My name's Kristen. I'm a journalist here at USC, and my sister uses your products faithfully, all of her babies.
60% of what you put on your skin is going to go in your bloodstream, and it's going to go in your body. Babies these days are born with hundreds of toxic chemicals in their system. And those toxic chemicals are known to mutate their cells into things like cancers. Also, even just a small amount, so most lipsticks out there, especially if they have a red or pink pigment, use lead or have lead in them. Even a small amount of lead is a neurotoxin. It's a known neurotoxin. So especially for people who are pregnant, you obviously don't want a